Kia ora, Grant Whitbourne here. Welcome to video 1 in this 5-part video series on questions in Te Reo Māori for beginners. Now, if you're a new beginner in Te Reo Māori, if you've been struggling with questions or you haven't even reached questions yet, then this is the video series for you. Now, over the next 5 videos, we're going to be covering off the 5 big questions: who, when, what, where, and how. Now, these 5 questions make up the majority of the conversations that we have. So it's really important that we have a good understanding at a foundational level of what these sentences are, how they look, how they work, and how we can use them as questions and answers, because that's what we're really aiming for in any certain level of fluency, being able to converse. And we converse by asking questions and giving answers. So in today's video, we're going to start off with who. We'll jump across to the screencast and get started. Oh, and before we jump across to the screencast, please, I'd like to remind you to make sure you hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already, so you can stay up to date with all the new videos. Okay, so here we are over at the screencast. Like I said, we're going to be covering off who, and I'm going to make my screen just a little bit bigger over here. So, who, the English word who. And I'll start with the straight translation of the word, which is why. Who, why. Now, a really important thing to note here, when we're talking about questions, the words for the questions are usually just one word. We're just looking at one word in particular. But how that question is formed is really based on the word that comes before the question word, and that really sets the tone of whether we're talking about something specific, we're talking about a location of something, we're talking about how we define names, tenses, all those sorts of things. So although we're looking at why, we're also going to look at some of the words that come before why, and this goes for all the other videos, to look at how we can make all sorts of different questions about who, because who isn't just about one type of question. So the first one we're going to look at is ko wai. So ko wai, ko, I'd like to describe ko as kind of meaning, it doesn't really have an English translation, but I think the best way to describe it is probably just the word specifically. Whenever we see the word ko, we're talking about something specific. So the question here might be, ko wai tō hoa. Tō hoa meaning your friend. Tō meaning your, hoa meaning friend. So ko wai tō hoa. Now, if we wanted to break this down and try and translate it, if I wrote specifically for ko, specifically who, your friend, it starts to make a little bit more sense there. So, ko wai tō hoa. Who is your friend? Now, with wai, usually what we can do most of the time is quite simply just replace wai with a name. So, ko mere, and if we're asking what is your friend, then my response needs to be, well, my friend. So, ko mere taku hoa. Ko wai tō hoa, ko mere taku hoa. So quite simply, all we need to do is replace wai with the name. So who is your friend? Translation, mere is my friend. I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller so we can see it. So that's ko wai. Now, another word that we can start with is kei. K-A-Y. K-A-Y, meaning at, essentially, is at who, the something. So K-A-Y te, and I'm just going to use ball here for simplicity, which essentially means who has the ball, or at essentially means at whom the ball. So kei a wai te poro, kei a Trent te poro. Trent has the ball. So kei a wai te poro, kaya trent te poro. So when we're talking about where something's at in terms of who it's with, so, you know, if someone's actually physically got something like, kaya wai taku waya pukoro, who has my phone? Kaya such and such, to waya pukoro, such and such has your phone. And look, the idea of these lessons is not to give you a really deep understanding of all these different sentence structures. It's really about being able to start identifying this word here, wai. And when you see it, and so when you see it and when you hear it, you can start to recognize it. And once you can recognize it, you can put it in that whole context of, hey, I've just heard the word wai. I may not know everything in this sentence. I may not know everything that's going on, but I know that wai means who. And I'm just going to make this a bit bigger. I know that wai means who when I see it, when I hear it, when I see it. So therefore, we must be talking about someone. We must be, you know, interrogating about someone. Now, this isn't always going to be 100% correct, but most of the time you can rely on. If you're seeing, you know, sentences that look like this, have the word wai in them, we're usually talking about people. Now, just to confuse it a little bit more, wai also means water or liquid or drink. So sometimes we may be talking about that, which might throw you, but that's okay. Okay, it's all right to make that confusion. And when you start to learn new words and new sentence structures, you'll be able to start to see the context in which things are being said and being spoken. And that'll give you the tools to be able to really understand what's being spoken about. So today's lesson, we're just looking at wai, and these are a couple of examples of different sentences that we have here. Ko wai, kei a wai, that we can use the word wai in. So make sure you stick around for the next video in the series. You should be able to see a link for it around here somewhere or down in the description, because we're going to be covering who, when. So when, we're going to be covering when in the next video. Thanks for checking this out. If you've got any questions, please let me know down in the comments below. If you want to have a go at using some of these sentences on your own, please feel free to do so down below.